everybody and or nobody, as the case may be. As the title suggests, I am feeling rather broken after yesterday's climb. I haven't felt this kind of broken for a while. I mean, it's not necessarily a bad thing, I just feel very, like, well, my right shoulder is kind of twingy and achy and painful, but we'll see how we get on. Don't expect much, yeah. Don't expect much. I think I'll just try a run, I think. Give me my task manager. Oh dear me. Also pretty cold here again. But I think after today it's warming up again, so back to approaching 20 degrees, which is a nice temperature. 11 to 13 is not. Yeah, I don't think I slept very well either. I think that's part of the problem. I'm not sure why I didn't sleep very well, but maybe because of the aches and pains. Am I too loud? I think looking at the graph, I'm about right. I don't know. Hopefully. No one comes in my stream anymore, so I don't have any feedback. It was funny, like, having, about a month ago now, having a period of, like, raids and people coming in and regulars hanging out. To then just pretty much dead. However, it did give me a chance to focus on other things and reflect on everything, which I'm grateful for. Which has been useful. We'll definitely be taking it easy today. I have to. My body's like, what did you do? What did you do to yourself yesterday? I honestly didn't think I climbed that hard or that long, but apparently I did. Enough to tweak some things and force a longer recovery. Anyway, that's why the stream started a bit later today than usual. Not that anyone's ever here, first thing. But you never know, right? You never know. I have met some cool people from doing this and had some great conversations from doing this. And it's opened up other things. We try, we do what we can. Yeah, my left trigger finger, index finger, it's kind of painful too, because I think I pulled on it on a crimpy side pull, at a bad angle for it, and yeah, I can feel that today too. So if I miss a grapple, we can blame that one. Oh, Elite's here. How are you doing? It's nice to see you. I wondered what had happened to you and Dankest Crab. Haven't seen you online for a bit, mind you. I haven't been checking, but I did wonder. I haven't been checking every morning, that is. Have you guys had a holiday or something? I was just been complaining about my aches and pains after a climb yesterday, because I seem to have destroyed my right shoulder in some way. So yeah, you should have heard me getting out of bed this morning, just you know, whining, just and that sort of thing. But yeah, how are you doing? It's nice to see you. Been a while. Oh, shoulder. No, we split and don't talk now, but it's all good. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Came in as you said, if you miss grapple. Oh, I see. Oh yeah, because my left index finger is painful after pulling on a hold yesterday, kind of at a bad angle. Oh, you seemed like a really sweet couple. What happened? Can I ask what happened? Do you want to talk about it? I mean, feel free to share whatever, or not. As the case may be. I mean, obviously, I only had a first impression from you guys. Didn't really know you that well, but you seemed sweet together. I'm sorry to hear that. He started working, that's why he's not here much. Oh, interesting. What's he doing? Anything fun? Good? Meaningful? Productive? Fulfilling? But I hope you're okay as well. Just asking about him. I'm thinking about you as well. He's 8 hours behind, 4,000 miles away. Yeah, true. And when he started working, he could barely talk due to schedule conflicts. He works in retail. Oh, okay. So you just kind of figured it wasn't going to work out. due to the lack of contact and the distance. I mean, that's fair enough. I was sort of joking with myself that because I thought he said that he was maybe going to come over here and live with you here or something. I was joking with myself. It'd be kind of fun to meet up with you guys, you know, one day in the distant future. But maybe that won't happen now. But I mean, it's all good. Life, it's life, isn't it? One thing's sure in life: things change. Change is inevitable. So I hope you're both doing okay emotionally from it all and stuff. It's gonna be a bit, you know, not the most pleasant time. What have you been up to then? It's like, oh really? Am I okay? Can I get away with this? We're gonna find out. Well, I didn't get hit, amazingly. Yeah, he did 1 minute. He was just visiting the next. He had changed it to moving here without telling me. Oh, I did. Was trying to move in with me the first time we met. Oh, really? Okay, yeah, that's, I mean, that's not sensible for anybody. Oh, it was only a month and 5 days together. Oh, okay. I had no idea you were that new. It sounded like you were quite, you know. Mind you, I guess new connections always seem the sweetest, don't they? Well, thanks for popping in and saying hello. You know, it's been dead in here recently. Certainly since you guys stopped raiding and stuff. I was just lamenting about that, about how it's been dead in here for quite a while now. But it's given me time to think about other things and do other things and reflect, so it's been all good. Nice, we got a fast kill. And thanks for the ban. He's an all or nothing person, okay. Yeah, I mean, it sounds like it. First time you meet, it's like, yeah, we're moving in. Huh? What? Huh? What? What? Huh? What? How am I sounding, by the way? Am I a bit loud? I think I tinkered with the gain and it looks kind of loud on my graph. Or are we good? Versus game and music. If you don't mind me asking for some feedback. I'm still tinkering with my settings and stuff. I actually got on camera for the first time yesterday. Face to fear, that was kind of big. Feels good to do that. Branching out into the content that I eventually want to make, you know? Not just gaming like everyone else. It's all good, it's good. You just turn headset down so it's not loud. Yeah, maybe I will just turn the gain down slightly. Since I got this noise suppression software, it kind of puts its own gain on it in the background, and I never... It's like I don't have full control over the volume anymore. And it doesn't seem to match up with what OBS is showing me graphically, often. Hence the wondering and questioning. What am I doing? This one. Shisha later. Shisha later. Right, let me just turn myself down a little bit. Filters. Go down to 6. Output gain. Try that one. See if you notice any difference. Oh wow, it's a big thing. Well, yeah, it is. I mean, it was for me. Some people are just naturals on camera, right? I switch between cam and my little character. Oh, you have a character. Oh, I think I might have seen that when I popped into your page to see if you'd been online recently. I think you had a VOD on there. When I have the money, she will be a VTube model and move with me. Nice. Yeah, this VTube thing is quite big, right? A lot of people seem to like it. I've always found it a bit odd, but that's just me. It's transmitting a lot in the background. And sometimes I have to make noise, like clicking my fingers. Which I just did 5 times, just to make it kind of stop transmitting all the time. It was doing that on the video that I published yesterday on my YouTube channel. Just me monologuing in front of the camera as kind of like a test. And yeah, it was doing it there, and I watched it back, and it's like the first half of it had some like little hiss in the background, I think, and it was sort of transmitting everything. And then when I did some clicking of fingers, it kind of kicked the noise suppression in, but then it started missing some of my words out. So it's kind of like I can't find the middle ground where it just always detects and transmits all of my speech, including the beginning of S words and F words, you know. Like for and so would come out, or and O. While suppressing all the background noise. So it's really difficult. Oh, you drew the design yourself. Oh, that's cool. Just needs layering and rigging. So other than Saw, how am I? Yeah, like I said, I've been very reflective recently with the sort of stream just sort of dying a bit. Not having the regulars in, not having raids from you guys anymore, and just sort of Crunchy's been busy with college, so he hasn't been in. Derman popped in a little bit. But I needed to reflect on what I was doing and branch out into what I want to do. So the sort of downtime with the stream has made me think more about that and focus more on that. And the result is a YouTube video that I published yesterday. Which isn't great, but it's me on camera, and it's me talking about who I am, where I've come from, what I want to achieve in life. It has a watermark of droidcam.app, like over my chin for most of it, which isn't ideal. But I just kind of jumped into it and didn't plan it and didn't like think too much about it. I just went for it, and then I just thought to myself, just get on camera and talk for an hour. It doesn't matter what it sounds like or what you say or don't say or what you wish you'd said later on. You know, it's just like the first try. So yeah, if you want to check it out, it's on my YouTube. There's a link to the YouTube in my about on Twitch, I think. Should be. Yeah, we'll be just adjusting the settings. Oh my god, there are so many settings on everything on OBS. Sound, graphics. It's a veritable minefield. Crab hasn't streamed for a bit either. Yeah, I know. Well, I noticed that neither of you were around, and I wondered what. I thought you might have been on holiday or something. Didn't know what was going on. But now I do, so thanks for the catch up, and it's nice to hear from you and see you again. But yeah, I haven't seen any of like the Crab family coming in or anything since the raids or anything, so everything just kind of went dark. I'll have a look later, just waking from dropping nephew at school. You don't stream often, maybe 3 times a month. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, no worries, like only if you want to, of course. But yeah, if you've got any feedback, I'm all about feedback right now. Got to tinker with things. Set something up, get something going that I'm really believing in, that's sort of aligned with what I want to do, and that's what I was talking about basically. I mean, you and Crab probably got some idea of that when the first time you were hanging out in here, right? We had a really nice stream together. You remember that? That was really sweet. I don't know if you noticed, but at the end, I somehow like perfectly ended the stream on the song that was, what did it sing? Oh, I got hit. I'm not focusing. It was "I Never Wanted to Say Goodbye" with the last lyrics on the stream, and I ended it after that, and I wondered if either of you noticed, because we were having such a good fun chat, you know. Oh my god, Bull's alive. He's alive. Yeah, I'm not even part of that at all anymore. I have my dreamer's corner. Sorry, part of what at all? I need to change the music. Thanks. Try this mix. Oh, you're not the Crab fam, yeah, I see. That makes sense. Music's music, yeah. Yeah, what's the volume of the music like? That's one thing I can't test easily, because it doesn't get saved to the VOD, obviously. To avoid copyright. Should be sort of background behind the game, and certainly the lowest out of the 3 volumes. Notice everything, perks of autism, yeah. I had a friend at uni who had Asperger's. Is that kind of like what you have? Because you don't seem like autistic to me. Or were you using the term loosely? Because everyone's on the spectrum in some way. But you know, that can be a real advantage because you, like you say, you notice everything, you focus on stuff. I feel like I have a high level of attention to detail. If you have volume up, it's good level, you can still hear it when volume's down. Okay. Yeah, I want it to be much more background than you guys had in like Crab Fan with the loud music there. Oh. 34 years of masking. No, I was diagnosed last year. Interesting. Masking? You mean like pretending otherwise, or masking it? There was a big streamer, it was Happy Hob, I think. I don't know if you know Happy Hob. Big British streamer. He's like the only British streamer I follow, I think. But he was talking about ADHD, I think, and getting some medication for it and stuff. I guess it's all linked. My only concern about all of that is not come across them yet. Okay. Big like Soul streamer does like no-hit runs and marathon runs and stuff. My only concern about it is obviously the labeling of all of our different, you know, the diversity in people's minds and focus and stuff like that. Goes hand in hand with a lot of profit making from pharmaceutical companies, right? Because it's great for them and great for the quotes economy, because then they get to medicate people for life, right? And when money is such a focus in the world, my main concern is how trustworthy are these categorizations? Is the medication the best thing for humanity, or is it just the best thing for money making? You know, that sort of questioning. Because in a different society, we would all be doing different things, right? And then we might all feel different and have different neurological patterns fostered and engaged with, and etc., etc., etc. Also, the question of the root cause of it in the first place, like, doesn't seem to be investigated as much as it should be by humanity in general. Instead, it's capitalized upon, you know, by autism doesn't have medications, just therapy. Yeah, I mean, well, therapies then, yeah. There's money involved somewhere. Meds don't always work. Yeah, I mean, I didn't think it would. I mean, seeing Happy Hob, this is why I brought him up. He got some medication, and then I watched him a bit later after he was used to the medication, and if anything, he seemed worse than better in terms of his focus. Although that's just from me as a viewer, which obviously isn't should be taken lightly as such. They are less likely to settle on an ADHD med if they have both autism and ADHD. Okay, mainly genetic. Yeah, I guess the point is, if people weren't constrained by money or budgets or having to make money, or, you know, the profit incentive, and human beings were researching things for the betterment of humankind, and that was their aim, you know, not anything to do with money or being limited and constrained by the research they can do because of corporate grants and stuff to universities and things like that. It would be much easier to really thoroughly explore the root causes of these issues, because that would be the sole aim, and that would be the adventure, right? And everyone involved would know that it's literally for the right reason, and there's no money involved, there's no corruptive forces involved. It's human activity and research for the right reasons, to really get to the root causes and to try to prevent things rather than keep things as they are and capitalize off them, like the pharmaceutical company's main interest is, like, just factually, you know. Because obviously the pharmaceutical industry, say for example, if ailments were cured or prevented from occurring in the first place, they would lose a hell of a lot of money, because they wouldn't be able to medicate people for either for their entire lives or for long periods of time, or on and off, you know. I got psychology degrees in there for a bit. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I did a bit of psychology when I went back to college. But later in life I got more into counselling, therapy side of things, because I volunteered for the Samaritans, and then that led to a college course in counselling, and I had my own counselling. Like, I went to counselling mainly out of interest because I was studying it, but it actually was quite revealing for a lot of things. Even though I went without really thinking I need to sort this out in myself, it was still a really good, useful exercise. I know psychology can be a bit more, nitty gritty and scientific, but criminology and phycology. What's phycology? I don't think I've heard of that ology before. Phycology. Oh, my shoulder and neck, man. I need to stretch or massage or something. I don't know what. Phycology. Oh, psychology, sorry. I thought that was a new ology. I was all ready to learn something new. Criminology and psychology, that makes sense, yeah. Yeah, I did philosophy for my bachelor's and I went back to do a master's in sociology sometime later. But I went initially to uni with the intention of doing computer science. But I already knew a lot about computer science just from my hobby, from being naturally interested in it. And so a lot of that put me to sleep, and the philosophy course, woke me up. I was more engaged with it, more interested in it, and learnt more from that. So than I would have just from ticking a computer science box. And I ended up working in IT anyway, because obviously there isn't much money to be made from philosophy in the world. And when the world revolves around money, you've got to get a job somehow, right? And blah, 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 blah. So I ended up working in IT anyway. Until I got disillusioned with that and business practices in general, and now I'm on my own, trying to find my own way through the world. But I won't go too much into that because that's on the YouTube video. And it's nice to have some video about myself that I can now sort of point to, relate to, present myself with. Like, I've presented myself, and it feels like quite a big thing to have done. Like, at least I've started presenting myself fully because I've got on camera talking about myself and where I've come from and what I want to do. And it's nice to have that there so I can refer people to it. That's the word I was looking for. Refer people to it, whoever's interested. Went down the criminology and psychology route because live psychology and serial killers fascinate me. So I wanted to mix them to try to figure out the mind of a killer. Yeah, it's really cool. All I really know is, or roughly feel like I know, what I've heard is about 3 to 5% of the human population are like psychopaths or sociopaths and can't feel love or compassion because of the way their mind is, or the way their brain is wired. Link on my profile. Yeah. It's on about. I need to make it more accessible because I noticed yesterday it's not accessible at all. Let me just put one in for you. I think it's Clapfish TV. Does that work? Yes, that works. I need to make that link more accessible because it's kind of hidden. I thought it was more easy to get to, but I noticed yesterday that if I go to my Twitch page, you have to click on About, and then it's to the right of the grey thing with where my bio, where my blurb is on the Twitch page. So it's it's less accessible than I initially thought it was on Twitch. So I feel like I need to link to it more transparently, or I don't know where to put that link though. I can't move. I need to Alt Tab. There we go. Can't click it at your end. Oh, okay. Put it as a panel. It handles it. And If you're on Discord, we'll get you and can watch you. Oh, that's sweet. Yeah, maybe we can do that. Although, to be honest, if I look into it, I'll probably figure it out. It's just that I haven't looked into it. Call me lazy. Do I have stream elements? Not yet. No. Not yet. That's that can sort of help with botting and stuff like that, right? Comes with a bot. Yeah, I haven't looked into any of that. Basically, my first focus was getting the graphics good and as smooth as I possibly could. And I think I've done all I can in that regard now. And recently it's been more about the sound quality and what I can do with the mic settings and stuff like that. And that's what I've been sort of focused on more recently, is the sound. And obviously since yesterday now, playing with a camera, because I always thought to myself, can I use my phone camera? And it turns out, as you'll see on the YouTube video, with the watermark on the plastered over my face, or over my chin for most of it, says using droidcam.app. I was recommended by Google, really, this droidcam thing for an Android phone, and it works really well, but you have to pay for it to get rid of the watermark, which I might do because it's not too expensive. I just wanted to test it a bit first. But it's really good because I can just set my phone up over Wi-Fi. I can just click a button, activate it in OBS. No extra software, just an OBS plugin. And then my phone camera is a webcam that's available on OBS all of a sudden without even plugging the phone in. And I can just put it on my little tripod thing and point it at me and zoom in, which is what I did yesterday, and that was it. It's kind of cool. And if I use that, that means I don't have to worry about getting a different webcam or anything. I can just use my phone when I want to. Maybe I'll get a webcam at some point, but I wanted to try with the phone first just to see how it would work and see how easy it is. If you're still alive when I get home, we'll type in here what you need to do for panels. So that's sweet, thank you. Also stream elements as your mod. Wait, I can't. Oh, it's broken. It's broken. My input breaks on the game sometimes, and I can't move my character properly. There we go. Also, stream elements as a mod. I can add commands in chat and add one for my YouTube, so you send YT. Oh, that's sweet. Yeah, I mean, if you want to do that, that would be amazing. Thank you. So what do I need to do at my end? Just install stream elements. Is it like an OBS thing or separate software, or is it kind of at Twitch's end? Yeah, I've never looked into it, but that would be sweet. Yeah, if you want to do that, that'd be cool. Appreciate that. I guess I always thought I would either eventually get to these things and you know, tinker with them myself, or if the community grew enough and was heading in the right direction as far as I could glean, then other people like you might just want to be interested, want to be involved in some way and do stuff. So that's really sweet. I'm not saying you have to, of course. I'm just that's why I was focused on what I was focused on, rather than trying to make everything right straight away. It was more like, okay, I've got a lot of work to make OBS graphics good and tinker with the settings for the game and make sure that looks good, and the microphone and all the filters on the microphone and the noise suppression and all of that stuff. So that's just taken all of my energy so far. Love making commands. It's a website streamer, so it's all done on web, and it like hooks into Twitch or OBS through the web, and I don't need any local software for it. I guess that's a bit like, what do people use, like the 7TV thing for emotes, right? Is that sort of thing? When I'm on PC, we'll hop in mod view and sort out so bots go to auto mod instead of in chat. Oh, cool. That sounds good too. I guess I didn't touch that because I thought I didn't want any sort of legit messages getting caught up in stuff if I started adding filters. But again, I haven't looked into that yet. So maybe that's easier to set up than I thought. Just go to the website and log in through Twitch. Okay. That's all that needs to be done. I can do that now. Dreamelements.com, I guess. Why am I seeing adverts and stuff? What's going on here? Oh, it's like an example. Get paid for what you do best. There's a blocked word and phrases, but you just put the phrase in and it gets banned. Okay. I noticed. I didn't think it would work that well because the bots always put, like a space in the word or like a different character and stuff. But maybe it just covers all of that, all of the potentials. I don't know. Dreamelements.com. Yeah, that's where I'm at. Okay, so I just get started, connect with Twitch. Authorizing will allow Stream Elements to do everything. Broadcast configuration, including updating channel configuration and managing stream markers and stream tags. Mod actions, run commercials. Does it run commercials because I want to stay ad-free? I'm not doing this for the money, and if you watch the YouTube video later, you'll know why. But I don't want Stream Elements adding commercials. It has access to a hell of a lot, right? Make sure that you trust Stream Elements. Yeah, indeed. I'll leave it open and maybe look into it a bit later. Commercials don't usually come in until affiliate. I think it just announces them. Oh, right, okay. It says specifically on that webpage, though. Authorizing will allow Stream Elements to run commercials on a channel, not just announce them. So I'm skeptical. But regardless, I appreciate all your input and help. That's really sweet of you. Oh, I'm just going to run through the bosses. My poor shoulder and neck, my goodness, I feel so broken today. Not seeing that, but mine's been up since 2022. Okay. Oh, the broken save state, dude. I've got to load it here. And I guess it hasn't put any... What was that message about? Bad save file? No, we're good. And I guess it hasn't put any unwanted commercials as far as you're aware. I mean, I can always unlink it again, right? It's not like a forever thing anyway, I assume. If I don't like it, if it's doing something bad in the background, I just unlink it. So I guess it's not going to be a problem just to test it out. No, just the Switch set ones. Yeah, I think you can. Not tried it. Okay. I mean, I assume you're not like tied down into. Stream Elements will now always have access to your Twitch channel. That would be kind of nuts. Oh my goodness. So that I keep complaining about myself. I'm just trying to stretch my shoulder and neck out a bit. Oops. There's so much to it. Yeah, it looked like there's a lot to it. I mean, just from the permissions list alone, it was like give access to Stream Elements to do basically everything on your channel. Have access to everything. I'm like, do I want to do this? Oh my goodness, man. The quick grab. I was far too chill in front of him. I stopped for 2 years, so just relearning everything, but when it comes to tech stuff, you take it straight away. That's cool. Take it in straight away. I guess that's an advantage of your what you were referring to as autism, focusing attention to detail. I do when I put my mind to it, but a lot of IT stuff these days, after working in IT for... I worked in IT stuff for like 5-6 years. These days I just kind of get a bit annoyed that there are so many options for trying to achieve the same thing. Some are free and open source, some are paid, like what's best, and I just think it ties into what I talk about in the YouTube video again about my thoughts on society and how all of that is just a mess. Because I used to work in IT, the software I worked with I knew was kept purposefully archaic, undeveloped, and overcomplicated, so that we could charge money for configuring, installing it, and configuring it and supporting it for other people, for clients. And that's the only reason it was kept bad, was so that we could profit from it. So we were literally profiting from inefficiency. And then I realized there's a lot of that going on in the world. If you sort of look at things from a big picture perspective. So when I see lots of options for things, instead of like one option that is the best, do you want it or not? It always irks me a little bit. However, Stream Elements seems to be quite widely used, so maybe that is the best thing for helping manage a Twitch channel. Preemptively. Doesn't matter, we got it. Yeah, pretty much everyone uses it. Lol, some use so many bots as they all do different things, but I only have Stream Elements and never had an issue. Yeah. I'd want to keep it simple, for sure. Simple solutions tend to be the best, you know. Oh, I wish I could fix my body. I was actually quite shocked with how bad I felt this morning when I woke up. I was like, what have I done? What have I done to myself? No. Oh my god. I got away with it. How am I getting away with this? Don't do this on a real run, okay? Got it. Wait, I'm getting so many late dodges that are just working. My goodness. Boom, there he goes. Good bull, I guess. Okay, yeah, well, I'll have a look at, I'll have a closer look at the website later. Maybe I'll, So if I just log in and link it, that means as a mod, you can just come into the channel and do stuff through Stream Elements without me even having to do anything else, or without me doing anything. Is that right? Because you're a mod? Kind of cool. So it's not like I have to go into Stream Elements and add you as a Stream Elements mod or something. As normal mod, it's mainly add commands through Stream Elements. Okay. Cool. Sounds fun. I'm glad I streamed this morning. I wasn't actually sure because I'm feeling so broken that I could, but I guess I didn't really question it, really. I just thought it's just going to be me whining. But then you came in, so that's cool. So it's all worth it. I'm wondering if this chair is contributing to my shoulder and neck pain, but I don't think so. I think it's just the climbing yesterday. Nice. There is another level through Stream Elements called Super Mod. Okay, where you can change everything, including stream title and game title. Oh, okay, right. And that sort of access for a mod isn't available unless you use Stream Elements. Isn't available through Twitch, I guess. So that's like another reason to use Stream Elements if you want super mods that can like do even more for you while you're streaming or whatever. That's cool. Only Stream Elements, okay. Good to know. Starting to see why it's widely used. So if I swap games halfway, they can change the title from chat. Yeah, okay. And that's what I've noticed other streamers doing, I guess. Stream element. But that's so that's not default for mods. That's specific. I would have to log into Stream Element's website and make people in my channel a super mod for that. That makes sense. But at the same time, Stream Elements lets you do more stuff as a normal mod for the channel too, or is it only through like the Stream Elements bot that comes in the channel, or something? I'm stuck, dude. I can't get you off there. Maybe. Nice. There he goes. That was a good adaptation. That was really bad positioning, but still managed to sort it out. Oh. Yeah, for the supermod, so Stream Elements also comes with the media request, where if you add that, people in chat can send a command to add songs to a queue. Okay. Oh, right. So Stream Elements just comes with a way for people to request songs as well. Add songs to Spotify queue. That's cool. Oh my goodness. Use all the noises. Oh, I need to stretch. Oh. Oh. Oh dear. Oh. It works through YouTube. Oh, okay. So doing it on Spotify requires other software, and Stream Elements only uses YouTube for songs. I guess that's kind of fine too, assuming it always chooses a good quality version of the song on YouTube, because obviously on YouTube you get loads of different versions of the same song, right? Some can be really bad quality, some can be good. But I guess it'll pick the most popular one or something, which should be the best. One with the most views or listens, or... Can either do song title and artist or the YouTube link. Right, so you can either specifically link to a video, or it'll just find, hopefully, the best quality version on YouTube if you just do song title and artist. Okay, that's cool. Now that I've kind of got something online of me in the flesh, shall we say. I do wonder if I should, or if I will, add a face cam to stream or not. I don't really know. I don't really think it's that necessary, especially if I present myself fully in podcasts. But we'll see. I guess we'll just see what I do. But obviously it's made me wonder about adding the camera to stream as well. I mean, maybe at some points for like some reason, you know. I could see definitely having a camera on stream for like a conversation with somebody, talking about the stuff I want to talk about to make the world a better place, that sort of thing. I could see it happening where I stream it and like maybe if they want to be on camera too and we have like a voice conversation over Discord or whatever it is, you know, we could have a split screen of me on camera and them on camera and have a real-time conversation, and that can be streamed. That would obviously be useful to have the camera on. But when I'm gaming, it's like I don't really feel like it's necessary. Especially if I'm presenting myself fully on camera in other aspects of what I'm doing, which I now will be. You know, I've already thought about, well, that was the first kind of podcast thing I did yesterday. I've made it a podcast playlist just with a random title for now called Clapfish Unleashed. Just came to my mind, you know, I'm not really thinking about titles right now. I'm just sort of trying to get some content on there. And then I thought, well, since that format seemed to work so well, quite naturally, of just talking for an hour, and not planning what I was going to say, not having any structure, you know, maybe there's room for that being a podcast idea, just talking for an hour. Maybe I can do it with like a topic in mind, and that's it, you know. So like I could do one a week or one a day or whatever it is, and then just pick a topic for it and talk about it for an hour and not really restrain myself, but see where the conversation goes. The monologue goes. Because that's just me talking about things on camera. So yeah, it was kind of a good practice monologue yesterday. But that's opened the avenue for more of that, you know. So it'll be interesting to see what I do next. I often commentate on myself like that, like, what will I do next, you know? Because I find myself these days being on this path that I've put myself on, or that I've surrendered to, shall we say. I find it surprising and interesting often to observe what I do and let things come organically and not try to force anything. Like, I'd been thinking about getting on camera and talking, facing that fear for quite a while, and then yesterday it just came. Like, I streamed in the morning, I went climbing, I had a cold shower, I had brunch, and then sat down with a coffee and just thought, get on camera, do it straight away, no thinking, no planning. Record yourself speaking for an hour and see what happens. That was the only plan, and that created some content, whether it's well received, whether it's boring for people, whether it makes a difference, whether it goes anywhere, it doesn't really matter. It was an important step for me, and that's the main thing, to then see what comes next. So I'm now quite interested to see what I do next, you know. I'm just explaining why I talk about myself in the third person like that. And I actually cried last night when I was reviewing the footage. I don't know if it's because I vaped a bit of weed as like a reward for having faced that fear and done that. But a lot of emotion came out, and I linked it to I wrote it down in my little sort of thoughts diary thing, you could say, and I linked it to finally allowing myself to be myself and viewing myself like from the lens of someone else, and through that process thought I don't know, started accepting myself more, which was huge for me because a lot of my depression has come from, well, what do I do? What can I do with the world? Like, it's just I wasn't paying any attention. It's just I can't find a way. I can't find a way that makes sense for me in life, in this society, and which is all the stuff I talk about on the video. But then allowing myself to sort of be recorded and watch it back, it kind of allowed me to view myself, letting myself be myself, and then through that process enabled me to accept myself in a way that I may have not achieved before. So that was quite like why it was quite a big deal, I guess, for me personally, emotionally. And it's kind of sweet that you're here just to have a little debrief about it, because obviously I was just watching it back on my own last night and having little tears of joy, sort of tears, you know, like a realization that maybe I can accept myself and maybe I can do something with the rest of my life. Maybe some sort of freedom has come from it. Maybe, we'll see. You know, I never want to speak too soon about these things, but that's kind of the emotion that was coming out last night. Yeah, we'll put up one that's allowed some, have a setting that doesn't allow them to play on streams. Oh, for the music, yeah. Yeah, I always say to people, you do you and see where that takes you. Don't change for anyone, stay true to you. It's good to have a cry every now and then. Yeah, I mean, it's been hardest for me because I've just tried to be a good person with the relationships I've had, with the jobs I've been in, with the volunteer work I've done, in studying, in traveling, in anything I've done. I've tried to, you know, tried to point out issues to the benefit of everybody, but I've found time and time again that when I point out issues, people seem to react like they want to defend the status quo or defend whatever I'm challenging. But I'm only challenging it because it will benefit everybody, them included, me included, literally everybody, if those things are challenged. So it's like, I guess over my life, I've somehow come up against this kind of disillusionment in humanity in general, that we can't change the world, that things are as good as they possibly can be, that there's nothing we can do, that, you know, all of this powerlessness and hopelessness, and it's like, but it doesn't have to be that way. You know, there are ways forward, and you know, I ended the video yesterday talking about just very briefly what could be ways forward, and I guess that made me cry as well from the point of view of someone else watching it. Even though I knew it was me, it was like agreeing with myself. But of course I would, like, because it's me, you know. But it was also through, I was looking at myself as if I wasn't me, you know, as if I was someone else looking at me, relating to what I was saying. Hi Shiro, welcome. That's a nice first time chat. You're not trying to sell me something, that's cool. What could be ways forward then? I talk about it in the YouTube video. Can I quickly link that again? And this is a great thing because now I don't have to have repeated conversations on Twitch, and I talk about this in the YouTube video. It's like, if I can get something down, the material's there, I don't have to keep repeating myself, because part of the problem on Twitch that I found was people would come in and I'd find myself repeating myself and sort of getting worse at repeating myself because of the fact that I just found myself repeating myself all the time. But there are lots of ways forward. If you take yourself out of the boxes, the categories, the isms and things that I talk about at the end of the video. Can I like alt up? No, it doesn't work. Let me just link it. I think that's right. Found it already? Okay, sweet. Well done. Thanks for the... Yeah, we were just talking about stream elements and getting a YouTube link in there. If I just sign it, right, Elite, if I just sign in now and just ignore this and authorize, can you then just do a YouTube command like out of nowhere? Stream elements, invalid CSRF token. It didn't work. Return to application. Okay, let me try that again. Get started, connect with Twitch. Maybe it's because I'd had it open for a while. Oh, it has done it. Hi, Clapfish. You're a few clicks away from becoming a streaming legend. Oh, really? Increase your viewer engagement with Stream Elements chatbot. Do I need to activate these things? Custom commands. That's what I need to activate for the custom commands, right? So I'll click activate for the chatbot. Bang. There it is. Activated. Set up your free tipping page and start earning money from your community. I'm anti-money, but maybe at some point I'll need money to survive and keep doing what I'm doing because I'm just living off savings at the moment. I can skip that for now though, right? Tipping panel settings, don't need that. Overlays. Jazz up your stream with custom overlays and alerts. I guess I don't need that right now. SE Live. The plugin legends are made of. The only OBS plugin you'll need. Light on your CPU, heavy on features. You'll have effortless access to your chatbot, tipping, and more. But I don't need that right now either. Okay, so Stream Elements is here. There it is. Chatbot activated. Hey, sweet, you've done it already. Why is that link got a question mark after it? Can it just be Clapfish TV and end there, just for a cleaner link? Is that possible? I know it works, but... Okay, sweet, thank you. That's cool, so that was easy. Update my details. Please confirm or update your details to get personalized campaign offers. Remind me later. Reject all cookies. Close the page. There it is. Do I take politics in today's stream too? I mean, it depends where I go with it. I've just been reflecting with Elite about making that video last night. This is the first time I've been on camera. I faced my fear of being on camera, and the only plan I had was, like I say in the video, getting on camera for an hour and just talking for an hour, like off the cuff, and see what happened, just as like a practice monologue. What happens in stream really depends on who comes in and what conversation happens, but I'm always open to talking about politics, philosophy, anything really. So do I talk politics in today's stream too? I guess that's partly up to you. Maybe I'll just bring things up, I don't know. Maybe you want to ask something. Shoot, you know, go for it. I'm still trying to stretch my shoulder out because, my goodness, man, I am very sore from climbing yesterday. Sorer than I have been in as long as I can remember, actually. We always end up in deep chats. Yeah, that does happen. Yeah, and I was actually just talking about the emotions I felt reviewing the video from last night. That's what I was just talking about. You generally like asking people where they would place themselves politically. So, as an overview for me, I would say I'm in favour of a true democracy for humanity. And I talk about this in the video too. Every human being on the planet can be connected democratically through the internet. We have the technology to do that now. I see that as the best way forward. If you want to call it political, I just see it as a good way forward, right? We don't need the few people at the top of government. We don't need the few people at the top of corporations anymore. We can actually change the world ourselves by coming together over the internet, acting democratically, constantly reviewing our decisions, our votes, whatever it is. Because a true democracy, what we have at the moment isn't democracy. It's a popularity contest every few years to see who dictates what happens, right? So a communist, no. Don't get bogged down, like I said at the end of the video. Don't get bogged down in any isms, or I'm not talking about communism versus capitalism. I'm talking very outside the box, outside of the monetary system in general, right? And obviously politics, as we know it, is controlled and corrupted by monetary interests. Therefore, whether it's communism, capitalism, totalitarianism, any ism, I try to address the corruption of that comes largely from the monetary system in all of our activity, be it political discourse, be it our jobs that are available to us, our opportunities, the lack of opportunities in certain countries because we benefit from them mining our minerals for less than $1 a day, and we have that out of sight, out of mind. And, I'm really big picture view. So I would say, a true democracy, which would mean everyone can vote on whatever they want to vote on, or as much as little as they want, as regularly as they want. Decisions can be always revised. We would never have to have a system set in stone. If it doesn't work, we can revise it, we can tweak it, we can make it better, and anyone who's interested in that can contribute to that process. Starting with the vote for every single human being on the planet, we could start from a fundamental point of connection, which is, do you want to live or do you want to die? So ruling of everyone rather than a few? No. No ruling at all. No ruling, no power games. Money equals power, right? No power games. That's a key point. No ruling, because we all decide together how to live our lives, how to make the world a better place, how to explore the universe together. We all decide together. So no ruling. There's no need for ruling when we can have a global democracy of humanity. So that's a key point. No ruling. The only thing akin to ruling, in my estimation of such an alternative system, would be deference of responsibility or decision-making to experts in the field. If that makes sense. If everyone decides together, then someone needs to be outruled. Let's say 90% vote for A and 10% for B, then B is overruled. Yeah, so the example I start with is, for example, hypothetically, we're all connected. Every human being gets a vote. We start with a fundamental vote. Do you want to live? Do you want to die? Do you want to live in peace and be productive? Or do you want to live under constant threat of war and violence? We're all human beings. I believe 95% of the world's population would vote, if they're voting honestly, for a peaceful life, productive life, meaningful life. We don't want to die. We don't want to kill each other, etc., etc. The biggest thing that they use to control is money. Absolutely, exactly. This is why I attack the monetary system. Well, not attack it. I see it objectively and then recognize all the issues connected with the monetary system and unpack it and try to derive alternatives. for the way we organize things. They put costs up more than wages. If they weren't in charge, there would be half as much poverty. Yeah, exactly. So we're in a position now, and this is why the fantastical idea, you might call it, of why I'm putting myself out there on the internet to try to make a community that could snowball into a global democracy. And then if enough people are interested and vote on stuff, we can really have a picture of what humanity wants and how we can organize ourselves. And then the more that grows, the less deference of responsibility onto political leaders, corporate heads, investment funds, all of that stuff. But back to the overruled thing. So wouldn't the goal be a stateless, moneyless society? Yes, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Because we currently still have archaic notions of borders and nations and different economies and political systems, but really, because of the monetary system, and because we are living in a global society, whether we like to think so or not, it's just that half of it is taken advantage of by the other half, right? For our gadgets and production and things like that. Because of the internet, because we can all be connected, every single human being on the planet can be connected democratically now, the ultimate goal would be, we are human beings on Earth, we are organizing, we are increasing the quality of life on Earth as much as we can, because that's a worthy goal. We are exploring the universe and reality as much as we can, because that's a worthy goal. Everyone has maximum opportunity to contribute to human activity as much or as little as they want. But, you know, information wouldn't be controlled. There would be no misinformation anymore, because the only reason for misinformation is for ad clicks, rage bait, ultimately to try to make money from outrage, basically. And if you take money out of the equation, a lot of pointless, damaging human activity would naturally cease, because there would be no incentive for it. And if there is still some, and of course there would be, and this is going back to the point I wanted to make about the 95% voting for life and peace, what would we do with the 5%? Because they've been overruled. Okay, well, we have to decide that together. Right, and the thing I mentioned, just as an example in the video, is, you know, if some people are just incapable of feeling love or compassion, and they're just psychopaths and they just want to kill other people, sure, those outliers are going to exist, right? But what we don't want is them to be in positions of power, or, you know, politically or monetarily, it's the same thing, right? Positions of power, calling the shots for us, like Vladimir Putin invading Ukraine. You know, if that was a referendum, shall we fight over a bit of land? I'm sure most people would have voted, well, no, that's stupid, you know. You know what I mean? So you wouldn't have these kind of soulless psychopaths in power calling the shots, because we realize that we actually have the power together, connected over the internet, to decide what we want to do. And stripping the monetary system away takes away that power from those few people. And then we decide, well, okay, so you've got 5% of the population at worst that maybe just want to kill other people because they have no love and compassion or empathy. There's no capacity for that within them, because of the way their mind is, because of the way their brain is wired, or whatever it is, genetic issues, whatever it is. First of all, maximum opportunity for every individual. They would have every possible help through the mental health experts and the psychology experts and the neuroscience experts that are doing that work for the love of the work, not for money, but trying to help people. They would have the best possible access to the best possible frontier of human knowledge in that field to try to help them not kill people, because 95% of us can't have 5% running around making us kill each other, because that's just stupid. So we've decided that together. Say, even if all the help that's been given to them, we can't help them, right? Worst case scenario, we can't help them. We can give them options. Do you want to be locked up for the rest of your life? Do you want to die a humane death? Or do you want to be sent to a battle royale island where the other 5% of people who just want to kill people are actually living a meaningful life as far as they can because they get to kill other people? You know? If you were just purely about violence, is that a bad thing? Setting aside a bit of land, an island where people can just kill other people, but the only people there would be because they want to kill other people? You know, I feel like that's a reasonable solution as well, but of course there might be other options that I haven't considered. And again, working from a basis of a true human democracy, connecting every human on the planet, we can decide that stuff together. Hopefully I've covered everything now. So goal is to overthrow the conditions in which humankind can be abused and enslaved. Yeah, through the power games, because we don't need them anymore. The only reason we feel powerless is because we give power every day through paying taxes, through working for money, through consuming via money, through our day-to-day activities, through trying to escape this reality that we're creating every day, through watching Netflix and eating pizza, or any addiction that comes from the meaningless life that we live, etc. Sorry, I started reading a message and forgot where I was going with that. But I guess you know what I mean. In my opinion, may I ask where you're from? Yeah, I'm from the UK, England. In my opinion, those 5% should be locked up. Fair enough. And you would have a vote for that if you're interested in voting for it, you know. But not in a way of a current prison system, rather give them places with a nice life so they have no reason to escape and do whatever they initially voted for, and also provide no ways to do those things. Yeah, so and the option can be given to them because maybe some psychopaths just want to kill other people and they don't want to live peacefully. You know? In which case they would ruin that place for the other people who might think, okay, I can't feel any love or compassion and I can't engage empathetically with the rest of humankind, but I'd still like to live some kind of productive life doing my woodwork or whatever it is, you know, just out of the mainstream society, if you like, so that I'm not a danger to anyone. That's fair enough too, but, you know, you shouldn't, or we shouldn't put a psychopath that may kill that person in the same place. If they really just want to kill people, there can be a separate place for that, or a higher security lockup, or kill them humanely, you know, and give them the option too. Some people might go, look, I'm just fucked, just kill me because I can't recover. And then it's like, okay, well, the most humane way to kill someone, you know, it's a delicate matter, but it's just an example of how we can decide things together, you know. It can be high security and still be nice. Yeah, exactly. But the point is, they're the outliers who are sort of just incapable of feeling empathy for other people, for example. But there'll be a lot of criminality going on in the world that's born of conditioning, right? Think bad upbringing, bad parents, get caught up in gangs, no money, always a struggle, financial constraints. They have to turn to thievery to survive. That turns into gang membership. That turns into doing worse and worse things. Maybe they murder someone. Maybe they didn't really want to, but now they're a criminal. You know, and that's born of the conditioning from the system. And that same person, if they'd had maximum opportunity to do whatever they naturally feel curious about, and obviously the education system would be radically changed too in all of this, because no longer would we have to shape kids into not being curious or creative and instead just becoming mindless economic cogs in the machine, you know, sort of thing. Their curiosity and their natural motivation and drives would be fostered in different ways, and they would have opportunities to do that and explore that, whatever it is, and have a different life, you know, not constrained by, well, I have to earn money. Even though I want to do this, I can't earn money doing that, so I have to do this, and then get more and more depressed, etc., etc., etc. And all the knock-on negative effects that has on maybe their kids, you know, and all of this. The ripple effects can be horrendous and are, as far as I'm aware. But they don't have to be. The ripple effects can be positive too if we change what we're doing and how we approach things. And that's what I want to explore. Alternatives. So then I'm wondering for you personally, what speaks against communism? Again, for me, there's no reason to categorize. There's no reason to label. There's no reason to ascribe myself to a certain ism, especially when there's a lot of bad negative connotations with such terms. Right? Instead, I like to talk about things in their totality, being very clear about my ideas, and not getting things complicated, mixed up, prejudged, misinterpreted because of terminology like communism. Right? There's no need, and I think that's part of the problem, because then, if someone subscribes to being a communist or a capitalist, immediately you're joining a side, you're joining a team, and a lot of the discourse around it is argumentative and unproductive. So that's why I don't ascribe any ism to myself, other than clapfish-ism, of course. I agree, and solidarity would also become more natural because not everyone has to watch out for themselves. Yeah, exactly. The knock-on positive effects would be huge, would be massive. Or could be. And all that's required for that is us to decide to do things differently, together. Because we actually have the power. Vladimir Putin, Donald Trump, Keir Starmer, any head of any pharmaceutical company, any billionaires, they only have power because we say you have power every day. We can wake up tomorrow and say, right, we're not playing with money anymore, we're not listening to, we're taking the power back, to quote Rage Against the Machine. And we are operating now under this global democracy to make the world a better place for everyone, and do our best to explore reality in the universe while we have this incredible peak of evolution on planet Earth and in the universe to explore together in peace, because what the fuck else are we doing, right? So we've decided to do that now, and then because of that, you realise that actually everyone has the power, together and individually, to change the world. Right. The only reason it is like it is because we defer that power onto these people. Every day, by paying taxes, by buying stuff, by using the monetary system. And I talk in my video about, the voluntary work that I did in mental health and how that was more meaningful. And well, I didn't go into it in too much depth because it was a short video, but it was very meaningful for me and I loved it. And it wasn't for money. And that was alongside an IT job in business that was soul destroying, that was for money. And I thought to myself, if the world was different, I could help people. I could actually do something productive. But because of this stupid monetary system, I'm forced into doing what's meaningless and soulless in order to get money. And I can't focus on what's meaningful and productive and helpful for people while I need money, And also I talk about the story of how even a voluntary charitable organization like that is corrupted by ideas of authority and power games, and ultimately the monetary system, which probably conditions people into these power games. But I don't know. We would have to take the monetary system out of the equation first to see how many power games were still played, and that would be an interesting avenue of investigation for humanity. And Miss Timer, if you're a real person, thanks for the follow, welcome. Hope you're well. I get that, but your points all align with Marx. And for me, choosing humans should not be exploited is not choosing a side, it's a necessity. Yeah, but again, why would I say that I'm a Marxist when that would put a lot of people off me just by virtue of it being mentioned? Just because in their experience they've met Marxists that they haven't liked, or whatever it is, or because it puts me in the left-wing camp as opposed to a right-wing camp, and they happen to be right-wing, or feel right-wing. Instead, I can just explain my ideas like this, and leave any Marxism or communism or capitalism or any ism out of it. Because as soon as I mention terminology like that, I'm setting myself up for prejudgment, misinterpretation, lack of engagement, and why would I do that, you know? There's no need to. There's no need to refer to other people who may have had similar ideas in the past. Let's talk about the ideas and focus on the ideas and not get caught up in isms or sides or arguments, or, you know what I mean? Keeping the arguments to a minimum by talking about ideas for the benefit of everyone and not being attached to any particular idea. Instead, together, shaping an idea, a way forward that will benefit everybody for the sake of everybody and not for the sake of you winning an argument. You know what I mean? That's where I'm coming from. Miss Timey, I'm Elite's friend. Oh, cool. Well, welcome. Nice to meet you. Welcome in. That's a good point. You mean that they will not listen to your points because they see you as an enemy potentially? Yeah, exactly. I mean, if you watch any parliament, any parliament discussion, like every time I've tuned into like Prime Minister's questions in the House of Lords or the House of Parliament, whatever, in the UK, all I see is little kids in a playground saying, I'm better than you, no, I'm better than you, you're wrong, I'm right, no, you're wrong, I'm right. And it's completely pointless and not productive and doesn't move humanity forward at all. And we pay their salaries for doing this. You know what I mean? It's so stupid and a complete waste of time and a complete waste of everyone's life. You know, the knock-on effects of that are just parliamentarian democracy is awful. Yeah, well, like I say, it's not really. It's pseudo-democracy, right? Yeah, exactly. Lobbyism. Like I said, the political system is thoroughly corrupt by the monetary system, therefore shouldn't really be considered a useful system at all, because we need to acknowledge the damage that the monetary system is causing in the world, literally causing issues for everybody's lives. Even the richest people can get depressed and kill themselves quite easily because there's nothing meaningful to do in the world once you're rich, right? Except for possibly like people with bigger dreams like Elon Musk who want to use that wealth to take humanity to Mars, and obviously that's a good thing to try to do, right? But it's still operating under the monetary system, which needn't be there, and which has a knock-on negative effect for the vast majority of other people in the world who don't have the opportunity to contribute meaningfully to humanity because they don't have any wealth, they don't have any money, and they're just scrabbling to make ends meet. And it's like, what a waste of human energy, what a waste of potential. If we start with everyone's basic needs being met, give everyone maximum opportunity to contribute to humanity, think of the innovations, think of all the Einsteins that have just died a young death in the Congo because they were forced to mine our minerals for us. You know, whereas in a different world they would have contributed potentially to the furtherment of humanity in completely unforeseen ways, you know. And the amount of wasted life is tragic because of the system that we're living under, and the system can change very easily. We just need to decide to change it. Try other things, you know. Going to another planet seems useless when 50% of the planet live in poverty. Yeah, well, like I said, that's why I put it under the monetary constraint and referenced those people, right? But my point is the pursuit of going to another planet or mining asteroids for the betterment of humanity and exploring the universe is obviously a good thing. But I agree, first we should sort out how we are living on planet Earth, and then we can probably get to Mars much quicker, right? or mine asteroids much quicker, because we'd have more people working on productive things for natural interest's sake that might come up with ideas that Elon Musk or the Mars team would never otherwise have had, because of all this wasted human potential that we are just forcing into basically slavery for our consumption in the West, for example, you know? So absolutely we should sort out our living condition on Earth and come together as a unified humanity to explore the universe and reality together in peace as a starting point. Yes. Starting with, okay, well, these people need water, they need better living conditions, they need, you know, look at them struggle, so let's sort out that struggle. Aim number one, you know. Oh, who's going to pay for it? Well, don't think about money. We've got the resources, we've got the technology to do it. Anyone's welcome to help. Let's do it, you know what I mean? And that would result in an exciting, adventurous life for every single human being on the planet. And not just some completely pointless existence chasing money for increasing comfort or, you know, to escape from reality until they die, because they're not part of a meaningful context, you know? Or when science is not hindered with NDAs and rather have different scientists working together. Yeah, exactly. All of this. And don't get me started on the amount that science people or academic people charge for academic documents online and stuff, because, like, you're charging for important information for people. What the fuck's wrong with you? You know what I mean? In my world, there would be trustworthy information, no misinformation. There would be freely available information, as much as humanity can possibly provide, and always improving that information. Freely accessible to everyone and trusted by everyone, because why the hell would there be any lies in that information? Especially when everyone's coming together to make the world a better place and using the information for that purpose and developing the information for that purpose. You go online now and you search for something and you get like hundreds of different websites, often saying different things, and you're like, what do I trust? And obviously all of them have ads plastered over them all if you don't have an ad blocker. And all of that bullshit is there just to try to make money. There would be no reason for having hundreds of websites claiming a fact is this or that, trying to win over the other websites, trying to get people to look at their ads so that they can have more revenue from their website. There's no need for that activity other than the monetary system, right? So again, that means we have to revise the monetary system, or we ought to, because things could be a lot better. I mean, what a waste of time it is when you search for some information online right now and you're just met with all sorts of different things you could get misled by or believe in, or... And obviously that's why the AI responses on Google and stuff are often wrong, because they'll read someone's comment on Reddit or another website that's just there for ad revenue, and they'll regurgitate that to the searcher and say, this is the information you wanted. But it can't be trusted, because most information out there is born of rage or ad clicking or, you know, all of that shit that I just mentioned. And thanks for the follow. Welcome. Shiro Nyan Nyan. Hopefully I said that correctly. So you start to see how the monetary system has so many... is the root cause of so many of our issues. When you trace things back to what the fuck is humanity doing on this planet, and why? You know, what is this mess all about? And I've travelled a lot. You know, when I was in Mexico, I just saw people trying to sell shit on the street to tourists, like plastic shit that'll only last a few days or whatever it is, just trying to make money. And what else could they be doing with their life? Something productive, something meaningful. Not just trying to sell shit to make money. Shit that no one needs often, you know? And obviously there's a focus on shit that people don't need to make people feel better for the fact that they live in a meaningless society, and at least shopping gives them a little bit of a dopamine kick or whatever, whatever it is. So in case it isn't already in your YouTube video, you watch that later, what would be my way forward? Well, like I say, talking about these ideas in a way that I'm doing now, not subscribing to any isms or categorizations. First, inviting anyone who wants to be involved to get involved, either through the Twitch channel or the YouTube channel, or both. Comment, give me feedback on the ideas, help me, help us, help humanity develop these ideas into something coherent that more and more people can ascribe to, can subscribe to, and think, actually, yeah, I want to be part of that society. That makes more sense than what we're doing now. You know, because if that snowballs and more people start talking about it and more people get involved in it, we could change the world very quickly, you know? So that's what I'm spending the rest of my life trying to do, because I've come out of a period of quite severe depression where I could have killed myself multiple times over the past few years. But I didn't, and now I'm still here, and now I see the way forward, at least for me, which is to try my best to make the world a better place. And I'm trying to do that through a method of online engagement with humanity in the best way I possibly can, and I'm going to try to improve and see where it goes. And if it doesn't go anywhere, at least I can die happy knowing that I tried my best, you know? That's a meaningful life. And I'm not going to be doing it for the money. I'm living off savings at the moment. I'm thankfully okay financially at the moment, for reasons that I talk about in the video. But I know that I can never work for money again, because for my own benefit, because I know that that's a corrupt way of living, right? Whether money can be utilized in the interim in some way to help us move forward, that could be the case. But in general, I see it as a thing in the world causing more harm than good, and therefore should be the focus of problem solving, because it could resolve a lot, so many problems. Because it is the root cause of a lot of our issues. I mean, think of the beauty industry, right? The beauty industry is profiting, making money from making people feel shit about themselves so that they have to buy certain products to feel okay with themselves. That's all it is. That's tragic. You know? That's just another example of a tragic industry. And they do that, and it's so ingrained in us, in our society, that the girls, I know this from my first ever girlfriend, or first long-term girlfriend, when I said, why are you putting makeup on? You're just going out for a run, you're just going to the shop. You look beautiful, like, why are you bothering putting makeup on? She ended up crying because she felt it was a personal attack on her, instead of what should have been the best compliment anyone could receive, right? That's how deeply ingrained it is. So you have people not only negatively affected by such an industry, you have people defending it as part of their identity, because it's so entwined with their identity, it's so ingrained in them, that they feel like they have to defend it, because if they don't have that, who are they? You know what I mean? It's crazy. Absolute craziness. That's all it is. So yeah. I just remembered that this all started with you saying, do you talk about politics in your channel? Well, welcome to the channel. This is what can happen in the channel. If someone wants to talk about meaningful stuff, we will talk about meaningful stuff. For as long as it takes, you know? That's why I'm here. I'm not here to do gaming. as the last 3 months of trying to get this Sekiro Hitless run will attest to. Because I often, like with Elite this morning, as soon as she came in, I wasn't focused on the gameplay anymore, because why would I be? I've got a human being to connect with. I've got, important things to talk about. That's more important than any sort of gaming or, quotes, entertainment for people to watch me game in order to escape reality. I want to confront reality, because then all of our lives can be better if we do that. So here we are. Now you know what happens when you say, "Do you talk about politics in this channel?" Apparently yes. But I appreciate you guys coming in and making my stream, because, like I was saying to Elite earlier, I've had a lot of quiet streams recently with no one coming in and not much conversation, and that has been good because it's allowed me to reflect on what I'm doing and turn my attention to what I want to do, which is what I started doing yesterday, which is get on camera, face my fear of getting on camera, talk, make a podcast, make content that's more tailored to what I want to achieve. Twitch gaming was just sort of a start, and one method of getting online and putting myself out there. The YouTube channel and podcasting is the next step forward. So. Dream Boo. Adding block terms nicely. Well, this is what I'm hoping for, essentially, reasonable discussions. You will find them here. Like I say, I don't want to argue. There was a guy come in the other day, said, do we talk about philosophy? And then just went from one ism to another, completely confusing the whole conversation. And I just tried to explain, look, like, we're not getting anywhere with this. And the conversations that I want to have are about ideas that can be useful, right? And that's why I didn't go back to uni in my masters to study philosophy. I did sociology instead. It was because I realised that philosophy and the academic practice of it is just talking about categorizations and arguing for no real reason. People getting confused with each other's arguments, people trying to win arguments, and it's like, where's the useful discussion for ideas that will be beneficial for the idea's sake, for everybody's sake? And not just for an individual's sake to win an argument and win at philosophy, you know what I mean? Thanks, Elite. That's sweet of you. Much appreciated. Oh my goodness, dude. Give me some nice RNG. Okay. Another screen, sure. It's what mods are for. Keep chat safe while you game. I'm only returning to the gaming because the conversation seems to have dried up. I'm not blaming anyone for that or complaining at all, by the way. I'm just saying that's why I'm gaming again. But yeah, if you want to stick around, Shiro, and mention it to other people who might be interested in making the world a better place, welcome them in. Send a link to the YouTube if you find that video useful. I'm not doing it for me, I'm doing it for everyone. I'm doing it. Wow. Okay, that happens on Ape too. If you get him on the death blow when he's doing an attack, he can just hit you. That's good to know. But yeah, like I say, the more people interested in this stuff, the more people can see hope for humanity, the more people can think, actually, yeah, we can make things better, and I can do something myself to make things better, and I don't have to feel alone with it and feel hopeless about it. like I was for the past 4 or 5 years of depression, and lingering throughout my entire life, feeling like this society doesn't make sense and I can't seem to do anything to change it or make it better. The more people that realize the only people that can change the world is us, is you, me, everyone, because no one's going to change it for us. And talking about ideas and implement like practical ways that we can start on that journey is why I'm here. Is why I'm doing what I'm doing. To give people hope, to help people think objectively about things, to detach themselves from any isms or any battlegrounds where they feel part of a team and the others are the enemies. Instead, focus on what connects us, what we all really want out of life, and progress humanity from there. Oh my goodness, my shoulder is so fucked up. Sorry for the French. Oh goodness, I don't know what to do to help it. I'm surprised it hurts so much this morning. Maybe I slept on it badly, because it didn't hurt last night. After the climbing, I felt fine. Just explaining my groans and strange noises. Oh, goodness. But now I know why I streamed this morning. Because you guys came in. And it's been great. Talk about these topics to your friends all the time too. Cool. That's good. Meaningful conversations is fantastic for everybody. Feels great too. I believe you and me have similar viewpoints, though, so I agree with many things you say. However, I cannot personally detach myself from what I've gathered and learned, but I can accept that it does not matter for many arguments. Yeah. I mean, of course, you can't detach yourself from your experiences and what you've gathered and learned and how you perceive the world, but other perceptions and other ways of looking at things are always available. And the best way to explore those is, like you say, accepting it, and the fact that it doesn't matter for many, I want to say, discussions instead of arguments, And that's exactly what I was talking about taking the isms and the categorizations out of it. Because then it's easier to talk about ideas for the sake of the ideas. Discussions, ideas, or whatever, yeah. Hot shower, the heat might help. Also, the aches and pains could take a while to present. Could be the sleeping positions. Yeah, it could be. I normally have a cold shower, and I had a cold shower yesterday after climbing. Oh. But yeah, maybe I'll treat myself to a hot shower. Maybe. Oh my goodness. But yeah, I mean, if you talk about it with friends, and you're naturally motivated enough to get involved with the community here, or in general, just spreading the word, talking about these things, do so. Because the more people talk about it, like I say, the more people can come together and do something differently. Morning, Dedge. Oh, goodness, man. So bad. I haven't felt this achy for maybe ever. And I wasn't even climbing that long, I didn't think. So I suspect it was the way I slept. Because, like I say, I was fine last night, and then woke up this morning feeling awful. Yeah. But that's okay. Life has its ups and downs. Yesterday was a big up. This morning, certainly physiologically, the way I'm feeling is a big down. Oh, but that's okay. It's okay. It's fine. It's okay. You hear me trying to convince myself. Would you be able to talk about another topic, only partly being political? I mean, essentially everything is political, but you know, yeah, of course. Like I say, if you want to talk about anything, we can talk about anything here. Or at least start talking about anything, and if it's unproductive or just pointless, or you know, I'll let you know how I feel about it. But you can broach any topic. Yes, you are allowed. While I bonk Emma and try to take my mind off how my shoulder's feeling. Almost used ism. See, I'm already rubbing off on you because you almost used an ism, but didn't. How do I feel about vegan? I was actually sort of heading that way with my past 2 girlfriends, I guess. One was a vegetarian to begin with, and ended up turning to veganism. And the most recent one, which wasn't a very long relationship, was just vegan from the get-go. I'm working, part of what I'm doing in life now is working on myself as well, trying to yeah, thanks Ali, I appreciate that. Trying to look after myself and give myself what I need dietarily in order to achieve what I want to achieve in life, right? So I'm exploring different diets right now. And one thing I've done for myself is cutting out grains and legumes because I feel like they could potentially be causing some of my health issues, which aren't serious, but you know, I'm experimenting. And so right now I'm eating a fair bit of meat, well, beef and salmon. Because when you cut out grains and legumes, I ate a lot of bread before, for example, and initially when I cut out bread, I was just hungry all the time. But now that I've replaced it with other things, I feel better than when I was eating bread. Being vegan is an ethical stance? Yeah, so I'll get onto that now. A diet can be plant-based though, yeah. Ethically, I'm absolutely against factory farming and causing animals any distress, in the same way I'm against us taking advantage of other human beings and causing other human beings distress, like we are for mining our minerals for our batteries and our gadgets, for example, right? So I feel the same for the animals as I do for humanity and the rest of life on Earth. Obviously, a lot of human beings have lived off meat. And we can still live off meat. But what would be ideal is if we all could trust that the animals had the best life possible and had the quickest, most painless, humane death possible, because then they could have a good life, right? And you could argue that meat is murder, and if you have animals to eat, it's just bad. The problem then is, if everyone was vegan, there'd be no animals, right? So there wouldn't be any animal life anymore. There would just be plants everywhere, which isn't good for the ecosystem. It's not good for the plants, ironically. You need a good mix, right? Biodiversity. Standard ecology, right? So what I would argue for always on that vegan question is we need animals, we benefit from eating animals, but what is in our power is giving the animals the best possible life they could imagine and the quickest, most painless death possible, because as a human being, would you not want that? Would you not want a good life followed by a quick, painless death? I would. You know what I mean? I know I would. I don't want to linger for 6 months in a hospital. Fuck that shit. So yeah, we can coexist with animals and respect animals. And I like going back to the Native Americans because I really enjoyed studying American history at school. It's my favorite topic. Learning about American Indians, basically, Native Americans, and how they respected the herds of buffalo, right? How they respected them so much they would, kill them as humanely as possible, use everything from the animal, no wastage, and they coexisted with buffalo beautifully compared to what we do, right? The white people come in from England, Europe, etc. What do they do with the buffalo? They go around exterminating them and making piles of skulls of buffalo for fun and taking pictures of themselves on top with a gun. That's tragic and pointless and ridiculous and completely the opposite of how the humans were naturally coexisting with the animals there before they came along, And obviously it's natural because there are predators in the wild that eat other animals, What we can do with our knowledge, our empathy, our point of evolution, our technology, etc., is give animals the best possible life, give them the quickest painless death, coexist with them in ways that the American Indians could only have imagined, That option is available to us, and that's my thought on veganism, because we should be doing that, And that's pretty much it. I don't see that point personally. Like, why wouldn't animals not exist if we wouldn't eat them? Because we'd potentially replace grazing pastures and places for animals to live with plant production, for example. So what would be the point of breeding cattle if no one's eating beef? That's all I mean. Animals existed before humans farmed them, yeah. Or, coexisted with them like the American Indians, but because of humanity's rapid expansion, there's only a finite land mass, right, where we can... Plant production is 20% more efficient. Why would it need to be cattle? Yeah, it's easy to say that stuff, but like I say, as part of the ecosystem, yeah, you could, absolutely. I'm a fan of rewilding projects and stuff like that. If you've heard of that, basically focus on the ecosystem and what's beneficial for the soil. The main thing that's beneficial for the soil is animal poo, right? And tramping it down with their hooves. It does a lot of good for the soil, which then promotes everything else around that, like growing stuff there, or that sort of thing. Yeah, I think rewilding is good. Yeah, so you understand that. And the point of overbreeding, yeah, we can obviously, we're in a technological information age with the internet where we could have easily accessible for everyone trustworthy, accurate information, ever improving information on species, numbers, knock-on effects for the ecology, knock-on effects for us, knock-on effects for other species, etc., etc. And that's a fantastic, fascinating area of discovery and development for humanity as part of making the world a better place, right? And again, going back to the monetary system, take the monetary system out of it, give everyone opportunity to do whatever they want. I fully believe there will be a lot of people involved in that line of work because it's meaningful, it's interesting, it's fascinating, it's adventurous, it helps everything, it helps everyone, you know? I mean, I'd be interested in it too. I might not go into it professionally to actually, you know, because I don't feel like I know enough about it, but who knows? In a different world, maybe one day I'd wake up and just have a natural interest for getting involved in that stuff. And for the rest of my life, I might dedicate my work to it. You know, in a different world, maybe. Because I would have that opportunity, you know? I wouldn't be labelled as an IT specialist and can't join this job in this area because I haven't done this degree or worked already in that area for 5 years and all that bullshit, which is what we currently have. We have financial barriers, bureaucratic barriers to people wanting to make the world a better place. Like me, I've been unable to do so because the system doesn't allow for it. Therefore, the system needs to be challenged. Because if the system doesn't allow for people wanting to help make the world a better place, we have a big problem. You know? The noise suppression monkeys are not working again, but if I click my fingers enough, it stops transmitting random noises. So sorry about that. I'm still working on my mic settings and stuff. It's not a great setup having a condenser mic, but I'm working with what I currently have. I hope it doesn't sound too bad. So yeah, that's my take on veganism. Or at least that's where I went with that conversation. I hope that answered your question. Or your wonderment about me in that respect. I agree that as soon as the monetization is taken out of these industries, it would be a lot better for sure. Yeah, I think so. I think that's just fairly logical and reasonable to deduce, right? So that's what I want to work towards, because that would have knock-on, like, just the knock-on effect, positive effects for humanity would be massive if we start thinking carefully about that system that we're living under. And the fact that it needn't be that way and we can do things differently. Hey, we've got a alert command. That's sweet, thanks Elite. Much appreciated for all your help with the stream, by the way, that's very sweet of you. Heading to the shadows, yeah. Enjoy the shadows. And you can come back to the light whenever you wish. As long as I'm online, but if I'm not online, there is the YouTube video. They don't call me God Mod for nothing. Okay. Indeed. I didn't know you had that title, but it makes sense. I can still go and chat when you're offline and make commands. That's true, actually. Yeah, I forgot you could do that. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I'm glad you suggested we set that up, because just makes the stream a bit more developed now, which is sweet. And I can keep focusing on tinkering with my sound settings and all the stress that brings. Gotta go to sleep, Shiro. Nice to meet you, dude. I hope you've enjoyed the conversation. Watch this space, get involved as much as you want. Recommend it to other people as much as you want. I mean, it's up to you if you want to change the world. I'm here doing that, and you are much more than welcome to join me. And it's been sweet to chat with you, so thanks for coming in and having a nice chat. And I hope you sleep well, dude. Hopefully see you again sometime. I have a rock, paper, scissors come. Nice. My instant thought was, do I want people playing games in here or talking about useful things? But obviously there is always room for games, humour, lightheartedness amongst serious discussion. So absolutely, that's cool. Yeah, it was a good talk. Have a good rest of the stream. Thanks, dude. Yeah, take care of yourself. Maybe I can get to Ishin this time. I don't think I'm going to be on much longer because I'm starting to feel a bit... After all that conversation, my brain is starting to feel a bit foggy now. I guess because half of my body is trying to fix itself physiologically. So I don't have that much energy left for... Oh, I still haven't had breakfast, that's the point. I forgot about food because of the good conversation. Normally I would have eaten by now. Commands can be made to suit my content. It's okay, I'll probably drift off as well. Had like an hour's sleep before taking nephew to school. That's fair. Yeah, I appreciate it a lot. And I hope you drift off to a pleasant sleep as well. To be honest, I might end up napping today, given how I feel. I think that's probably a useful thing for me to do as well. So I might join you. Have a pleasant rest anyway. I'll look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks again for all your help. Did the wrong buff first. Never mind. I will try to fix this boss and then go for breakfast myself, I think. That's a nice place to end the stream. And what a wonderful stream. So, thank you guys for making it what it's been. I was not expecting that this morning. I was just expecting a quiet stream of me complaining about my aches and pains. And getting hit by Ishin stupidly at the same time. We'll just continue. I want to do Emma again. And what a sweet stream. I've really enjoyed it. Even though I feel awful, it's been well worth coming online, so thank you everyone. For making it what it's been. People wouldn't know what to do properly without guidance and knowledge being passed on. Yeah, I can learn so much. Well, this help you learn more. Yeah, I agree. That's why I'm here. Let's see what we can do with the world, you know? Because I don't want to live for anything else for the rest of my days now that I have a bonus life. I want to spend it as productively as I can and as beneficially as I can for everybody. So thanks for your sweet words and your help again. Oh, my shoulder. Do we get him? Do we get him? We get him. I know I got hit, but 2-hour 20 stream, it's not that long, but it feels like a really nice place to end it here. Because I've got Ishin down. I am feeling rough as hell right now. Need to go and eat and look after myself and maybe nap, so. With Twitch, stream elements and OBS, pretty good. Know a lot about them. You can send me a whisper if you have any questions. Thank you. I appreciate that. Like I say, I'm more focused on the sound settings and the what's on screen, including my face, most recently. But yeah, I absolutely will, thank you. And I appreciate your efforts in the background. Whatever you've been doing, adding commands and stuff. That's really sweet. Thank you very much. And before I melt into God knows what version of a previous human being, if that makes any sense, I will get off and go for food and maybe a nap and try to fix myself. Or at least rest and hope that I get fixed. Sooner rather than later. I also have a blocked left ear, which really sucks. That's been there for like a week or so now. I'm hoping that'll resolve soon, but honestly that's taken a back burner because of this shoulder ache and my tiredness, so I'll try to hop in the next stream. Yeah, that's sweet. I would love to have you here, but obviously, if you can't, don't worry about it. Sometimes I pop into afternoon streams randomly if it feels right, or I'll, maybe do more podcasting, and that'll be on YouTube. But generally, every morning I'm here, as you know, so you know when I'm live. If you want to join, that's cool. If not, that's fine. Appreciate you and everyone coming in and having a wonderful morning with me. It's made my day, especially given how I feel. So I'll try to take that positive energy into restoring my humanity for the rest of today and see what happens. Maybe I'll come on tomorrow morning right as rain. Maybe I'll come on tomorrow morning even worse. We'll see. But regardless, it's been great. Thank you, everybody, for being there and the conversations. Take care of yourselves. Be kind to each other. Choose love, not fear. And I'll see you next time. Ciao for now.